gotcha. See, I told you it was going to get you.
We're live. Oh my gosh.
We're live. We have to behave ourselves now. Wait, leave it up. Leave it up. All right, straighten up. All right.
Bring the real coffee.
Oh, you brought, oh, I like your coffee mug.
Yes. Hawaii Starbucks.
Cheers. Cheers. Although I have to say, when I'm in Hawaii, the only coffee I'll drink is the Badass coffee.
Kona.
Yeah, you never had the Badass brand?
No.
Awesome. I know it's terrible, right? It's called the Badass coffee. And the reason is I think it has to do with like somehow the donkeys that were harvesting the coffee beans weren't behaving themselves. So that's how the name came
my God.
out.
That is priceless. No, I'm born and raised in Hawaii. Well, I moved there when I was 6 months old, but to be honest, I never heard of Badass coffee.
It is so
Kona beans?
Yes, the real deal. They just now started, there's now a place here in Florida that when I drive to Miami, I actually go and get its good coffee, like real, not the 10% Kona that they try to sell to tourists like me.
Yeah.
It's the real, hey guys, okay, we got people jumping up, but we got Line, we got Carl.
Kay.
Carl, watching Cosi Talks. I've loved having you right behind that, Jody, I promise. See, Lynette knows Badass coffee. You brought me back to the day I was the best. See, she knows. She knows one of my colleagues right there. We've got Kay from Alaska. Hey, Barbara, I'm so glad you could join us. John says, checking in from Union City, Tennessee, drinking his sweet tea. Nice. Tisha, hello, Tisha, for coming. Thank you for coming. We've got Bonnie on board. We've got Doug. Says, nice to see everyone on Wednesday. Mocha coffee in my mug tonight. Frank, ¿cómo está, compadre? Hey, guys, raise a glass. Cheers. Steven from Bama. Ooh, roll tide. We've got Glenn, hey, from Pennsylvania. No, so there's a reason why I was saying badass, guys. And actually, not because I'm but as you will learn tonight, Joan is from Hawaii, and I wish I were from Hawaii. I wish I lived in Hawaii. I love Hawaii. And the 1 or 2 times I've been able to visit, there's a coffee. They're known for their Kona coffee. And there's a particular brand name called Badass Coffee. And it's amazing. It's amazing. And as I was telling Joan, it comes from the story, I think, is like the donkeys who were harvesting the coffee beans were not behaving themselves. So that's how they made good coffee.
Well, I got to start my Christmas list, my box from my dad, and I'm going to put that at the top next to that.
Me too. Especially their, Lynette, help me out here, girl. What's that flavor? I'll have to look up. There's one flavor that
they sell. Okay.
It's amazing. Expensive as all get out, but it's amazing coffee. Hey, we got Jill on board. Damon, my man. Damon, 2 more weeks until we do that super secret, top secret project for Cosi Talks, man. That's all I'm leaving y'all with. We got Ashley on board. What's going on? Ashley, darling, remind me tonight to answer the question that you sent me, because I think it's a really good question. And I think other people are going to be able to benefit from that answer as well. Denise, how you doing from the Tar Heel State, a fellow Tar Heel? We got Rhonda. Johnny V, you made it. Good, because I told you, I was like, Johnny, we're going to have some really cool giveaways. You want to be here tonight. We've got Dick Devers with his hot tea. Diana Baker, hey. Oh, I'm so glad she could be here. And we got Carol. We got a full complement on board with all my favorite people here. Jim, who is rocking it. Jim, I hope you are feeling better. We've got Harsh on board, Tom McIntyre. Kevin, man. Kevin, the stuff you've been posting on amputee jokes and fun support page, that's some funny stuff, man. That's some seriously funny stuff. So, yes, you definitely need some of the badass copy.
Cosi, I got to tell you, that Tom McIntyre, that's this fella.
Oh, well, speaking of badasses, there we go.
He's on the cover of my catalog. He's I might get this wrong, but he's done the Boston Marathon twice.
Holy cow.
Correct me. He's my mentor. When I first had my leg amputated, he's been my everything, getting me through this whole journey. But you got to watch what he says too. He's warned me.
Well, I always tell people I have to behave myself because it is my show, but my guests do not need to behave themselves. Yeah. I'm kidding. Oh, Barbara, looks like you got a fan. Barbara is definitely a fan of Socket Socks. Barbara, you have the beautiful butterfly print from what I remember. Yes. So folks, I'm so excited. Thank you guys for joining me this evening. I know we've got a lot of hot stuff going on in our society, and everybody's been glued to their TV, to the news station. I know I have. So for me, doing the show tonight is just a nice little break from reality and just kind of escaping all that madness for just even a little bit tonight. And it's just a joy. Tonight it's telling Joan's story and just the beautiful creations that she has. In my personal life, I love fashion. So anything for me that is stylish or fashionable or just unique in its creation, it just grabs my attention. So I'm really, really excited to share her with you. Many of you are very familiar with her already. So it's kind of cool. Hey, Mariela. All right. So Joan, jump in. Tell us a little bit. So we know that you were born in Hawaii.
Yes. So I was born in La Jolla, California. And when I was 6 months old, my dad got a job to teach at the University of Hawaii. So he packed up his 2 kids, his 6-month-old being me, and we moved to Hawaii. But I spent I was there for 22 years before I moved to Canada. But yeah, I would say born and raised in Hawaii. It was heaven on earth.
On Oahu or which island?
Yeah, Oahu.
Oahu.
Yeah. So I grew up in a town called Kaneohe, and on our street, at the end of our street was an elementary school, and then our entire community was surrounded by banana trees, banana fields.
Yes.
So from our house up to the mountains, it was all banana trees. And we used to run wild. Like I felt like there was no rules growing up in Hawaii. I'm sure there were, but as a kid, it's like, woohoo, let's go this, let's do this. And it was a whole different world. Oh. It's still a beautiful place. My dad still lives there. My sister's in Texas, and I'm here in Canada.
So what prompted that move to Canada?
Love.
Yeah,
young enough to make the move. I was 20. I was 22. I met my husband, who's from Cape Breton Island, and I was from Hawaii, from Oahu Island. I thought, oh, we have so much in common. And I just kind of took a chance, moved to Canada, and I loved it. I gained 8 brothers and sisters, with his family. I'm like, okay, this is pretty cool. I love it here. I have no regrets. Married 30 years now. I have 3 beautiful daughters who are independent and living on their own.
Nice work.
Yeah.
We'll have to really talk after this show's over.
Yes. If I can do it, you can do it.
Oh my goodness. So we have, let's see, Pat here saying from upstate New York, there's Pat, Untold East by Northwest IPA in the mug. Pat, you are getting fancy. Pat, I want you to catch me up on how your running is going, by the way. Haven't heard from you in a while. We've got Pam here listening in tonight. Let's see. Kay says, a great break from the news. And Joan, I get so many compliments on my socket socks. So we've got a lot of fans here. We've got Dara Khan on board. Thank you for joining us. Hey, Michael, so glad you could be here. Jim says he was in the Marine Corps, Kebe, lives in Kailua.
Yes, so that's about a 5-minute walk from my dad's house. The Marine Corps base is right there. Yeah. Hi. Aloha.
I could talk about Hawaii all night long.
Right? Hawaii, coffee, surfing.
Oh, I want to go. Okay. Anyways, right. Show. Got to do the show. So tell us what happened. What eventually led. So this was not your original business venture.
No, business-wise, I was a bikini designer for bodybuilders. So I used to make those custom-made bikinis for fitness models and bodybuilders, the ones with all the rhinestones, about 4 square inches. But it was quite an art because the people getting up on stage, they were judged. So if the suit didn't fit them right, they would lose points. So it was a very fine-tuned skill. I did that for about 17 years. I loved it. Best customers in the world. But when I lost my leg, I said, you know what? I want nothing to do with this. Owning your own business is hard. I thought, you know what? I sold my business. I'm going to work retail. And after I lost my leg, it was, I guess, 8 months. I was able to kind of move around. And I worked for about a month in retail. I said, yeah, no.
Not my bag. Not my cup of tea.
This isn't going to cut it for me. But then I remember thinking, okay, well, I got some business ideas. I'm an entrepreneur. So I said, okay, I got this, I can do this, I can do this. I wrote out a business plan, I'm not kidding, for 4 different businesses, search URLs. In the meantime, I started making covers for my prosthetic leg. I'm a below knee amputee.
Okay.
And people were like, wow, those are really neat. You know, can you make me one? So I started making some for other people. And it wasn't until I was sitting on my dad's lanai in Kaneohe, Hawaii, overlooking the Kaneohe Bay, and I'm like, I think we got a business here. Like, I think there's something here. And I quit my retail job from Hawaii. I sent a text to my boss.
You're like, peace out. We're done.
So how do I give my 2 weeks notice? I've never really had a job before. I've always been an entrepreneur. So I'm like, how do I give my 2 weeks notice? She goes, consider it done. I'm like, next.
So just to back it up a little bit, we have one of our viewers, and I'm sorry, Joan, I didn't let you know, on the right side of your screen, hopefully you're seeing people's comments, but I'll be happy to kind of help you out with the questions because these comments tend to fly by. You've got fellow Canadians on board.
Hey, Doug, yes.
Edmonton, we've got Doug on board. Jody was asking, how did you lose your leg? If you don't mind sharing that story with us.
Yeah, no, it's funny because when I talk to someone in passing, say I'm out walking the dog and they say, oh, you know, how'd you lose your leg? I usually just say I was hit by a car. And then they say, oh, okay, sorry. But to hear that, you know, but yay, and they drop the subject. But I was hit by a car when I was 5. And the car slammed on the brakes. My foot was stuck under the tire and it dragged my foot about 10 feet. So it was pretty much detached except for the Achilles tendon. They sewed everything back together. It was 4 months in the hospital. A lot of skin grafts and stuff at 5 years old. And they said, taught me how to walk again. And they said, okay, you're fixed. Go on your way. And what had happened is my foot was turning outwards as I was walking. And I was a classic kid. Like I ran, I jumped in mud puddles. I did everything. I actually broke my arm 3 times, sprained my ankle. I did everything. So I damaged my ankle to the extent where at age 17, I was diagnosed with trauma-induced osteoarthritis. And if people don't know what osteoarthritis is, it's pain in that one isolated joint. It is the most painful thing. So they said by age 25 that I would have to have it fused. And I was around 24. I moved to Canada, so I was 24. I saw a chiropractor. He says, no. We're gonna adjust your ankle. We're gonna keep you lubricated, keep you moving, and it did. So I stayed fit as much as I could, kept the joint lubricated, trying to extend the life of it because I didn't qualify for a new ankle. The orthopedic surgeons all said, well, you need a new ankle, but you're too young. It's to get an ankle replacement, you're usually 50s, 60s.
And that's the last resort because it's.
Yeah, I think you can get 2 ankle replacements. After the second one, that's it. So I didn't qualify, and then it was I was 49 years old and 48, and all of a sudden the top of my ankle started to collapse in. So there was a hole developing up top of my foot. And I won't go into too many details, but that was happening. And the skin grafts that were all over my foot were leaking fluid. So I went to, a skin specialist. I got 2 different orthopedic surgeons, everyone they're trying to figure out what's going on. One said, oh, it's an abscess. One's, let's cut it open. And I'm like, it's not, it's done. The ankle is done. And it wasn't until we got the MRI done, and it was like 5 o'clock in the morning. They fit me in for my MRI, and the technician, after it was done, she goes, "You got to see this."
Well, I've never seen this before.
Yeah, she was so excited. She goes, "I didn't know what I was looking at," but she said, "Look at this. It looks like sand on a beach." She said, "That's your ankle joint."
Oh,
that explains what was happening. And so it was done. And so finally we met the orthopedic surgeon again, and he says, okay, well, there's 2 things. We could amputate or we could fuse your ankle. Now I live with chronic pain for 35 years or more now at this point. And he said with fusing, wouldn't guarantee the pain would go away.
Mhm.
You would have to do another fusing in about 5 years, more joints, and again take muscle and skin from your back, and still not guarantee the pain would go away. And then, so at the end of the day, whenever I would talk to somebody, another professional, and ask these questions, it always says, amputee. This makes the most sense. I should have said it should have been amputated when I was 5. But it wasn't until I asked my surgeon and I said, okay, with fusing, can I walk barefoot? This is important to me. I'm from Hawaii. I grew up barefoot. It'll be -40 outside and I'm in the house walking barefoot here in Canada. In fact, I'm wearing shorts right now. But the doctor said with the fusing, you can't walk barefoot. I said, that's it. So I made the decision to answer the question. Sorry, it was long to get there. I had to make the decision to amputate. So it was pretty hard, but I was very confident. I asked all the right questions. I have no regrets. I'm pain-free. I can run. I haven't run since I was 17 years old. And this has just opened up the doors for me, to go through everything that I've been through. Wow. And to have this freedom. I feel I'm lucky. Surgery went great. And so I'm so thankful.
And how long ago was the surgery?
It was February 18th, 2018. So that's 2.5, almost. We're going on 3 years.
2 years, and you've done. Wow.
Yeah. It was
wow.
A little hiccup. After 10 days after my surgery, I had aches and pains in my body. So I went to the hospital and they started doing an ultrasound on my good leg.
Mm-hmm.
And the woman, again, I surprise technicians. The poor lady doing the ultrasound was going down my leg and she started getting really pale white. And then she started going up my leg and, up my belly towards my heart. And she just put her hands up and she said, you need to go to the emergency room right now. And what she couldn't tell me was that I had a DVT.
Oh, yeah.
So the deep vein, the big vein that carries the blood back to the heart, the entire vein in my good leg was blocked. Not a little clot, the whole thing. And we're in the emergency room. My orthopedic surgeon was there. I can't think of the name, the blood doctor was there. He was just like, I'm really sorry. We're going to give you blood thinner shots, but that's all we can do. There is a chance you can wait. There's nothing we can do. And I'm lying there, freaking out a little bit. And then I realized, but they said I could live. They said there's a chance that I could live. So it wasn't until that moment that I realized I have a choice. I'm going to live. And I'm thinking, that's it. Nope. I'm going to live. This is fine. We're fine. This would be great. We're good.
It's a flesh wound. Really?
Just a flesh wound.
Doesn't mean a flesh wound.
The mic said say nay.
Thank you. Thank you. Somebody who gets my quirky movie quote things.
Yeah. Oh, we got it the other day. Anyway, so bottom line is I lived and delayed getting my first leg. And I finally get my first leg. And the prosthesis comes out, with this socket on my leg. Now, I'm expecting this big mechanical thing. I worked so hard for this. And then she comes out with this thing.
And you're like,
yeah, no.
Sure.
The foot doesn't look anything like my other foot. My expectations were here. Mm-hmm. But the big Band-Aid to me just didn't reflect how I felt inside. But of course, what do you do? And
when you make it work, you make it you.
You make it work. And it was Canada Day, and I'm like, I'm gonna get dressed up, and I'm a dressmaker. I've been making patterns for over 20 years, so I made a custom fit cover out of red lycra for my socket, and I rhinestoned this maple leaf on it. And
Oh,
everyone, instead of saying, "Oh my God, what happened?" they're just like, "Wow, that's so
cool socket.
happy Canada Day," you know. And I thought, that's how I feel. They finally saw me for how I felt. And so I didn't go out to create soft socks. It found me.
Fell in your lap like that. Wow.
Everyone I talk to says the same story. You know, everyone who wears socket socks covers, they tell me exactly the same feedback.
That's wonderful. And guys, just as a side note, I actually do a lot of sewing for costuming and theater. I have a lot of experience sewing. When it comes to sewing Lycra, it is not easy to do. And to sew a bathing suit, I have never sewn a bathing suit because that's actually hard, even though it's only just tiny little bits of fabric. It's really hard to get those garments and that material, to manipulate that material. So when I first saw these socket socks, I was just like, how is she doing this? Those of you who have seen her product, you know what I'm talking about. Everything lies so smoothly. There's no lumps or bumps or puckering of the fabric. And guys, this is not an easy fabric to manipulate for this purpose. So yeah, and the prints, I mean, obviously the prints are just so much fun. We have Sarah here who says, I have a t-shirt with the knight and it says just a scratch. I need that t-shirt, Sarah.
Yes, I love it.
No, Susan, actually another Canadian on board, Susan Walker. No, Susan, I am not an amputee myself. I am a physical therapist. And I forgot to do my token introduction. Sorry, guys, for those of you who are possibly joining me for the first time tonight. Susan, I apologize for not introducing myself properly. I'm actually a physical therapist. I've been a PT for over 17 years, and I've worked pretty much in every setting imaginable, treated at almost every specialty in my profession. But amputees are who I work with. My private practice here in Tampa is exclusively for working with amputees and teaching them how to get ready for their prosthesis, how to walk, how to run, how to chase after kids with their prosthesis and getting them back to life. So that's me in a nutshell, Susan. And it's funny that you say that, Joan, like your business kind of fell into your lap. For me, this show was kind of the same accidental thing. So
when
it's
you're passionate about what you do and you find that what you're doing can help people.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, well, what more can I do? How more can I help people?
And that you enjoy it. Fun.
Susan Walker, is it Walker Susan?
Susan Walker, Susan, I believe she mentioned where in Canada. Susan.
So I'm
Canada rocks. Canada rocks.
Someone said it's true. The amputation did work for me, and it doesn't work for everyone. It was a risk. Like when I made the decision, I knew the risk. You know, I could have phantom pain worse than you could even imagine.
Yeah.
You know, so it's taking that risk. It was a hard decision. Mm-hmm. I had questions. I had 3 pages of questions, and I asked all my friends, okay, look at the questions. What's missing? What more should I ask? And every specialist, I'd have a binder. I'd go into a specialist. I had all my paperwork with me, and I'd ask them, every single person, all these questions. You got to weigh it out. And for me, the amputation made more sense. It was a high risk, but it was a higher risk to live with fusing. So there's a lot of people out there in pain after amputation, and I have a lot of respect for you. I don't mean to belittle any.
No, and everybody's experience, and you know, again, this is not pulling from any research. This is just from pulling my own 17 years of experience in the field. And there's so many times where I hear, believe it or not, Joan, I've had, since I opened up my practice here 2 years ago, I've had at least 4 cases of childhood trauma, whether it was a lawnmower or getting run over by a car, you know, all this trauma through their young adulthood until they finally, it came to that point for amputation. And in their particular cases, it was a life changer for them.
Yeah.
I actually had a couple of people have been on the show this year. But yeah, you know, it's one of those things where amputation is the last resort for this reason, because in science, we still don't know who's going to develop the phantom pain, who's going to develop possibly a reflex sympathetic dystrophy, which we talked about on the show a few weeks back. Mm-hmm. Let's see, we've got, I think this is our cue, Joan. Pam is asking, will we get to see these tonight and how to go about getting them?
Well,
and we're going to actually do the first giveaway tonight, guys.
Hey.
When Joan texted me the picture, I was squealing like a little kid to see my logo on one of her socket socks. And she's going to show you right now. We're going to do a giveaway for one of these tonight.
So that ugly sock that I just showed you, what? I got to dress it up. So I just put a cover on it. So are we ready to show the special socket?
Yes. Show them, show them, show them. It's my logo on the socket and it looks so cool. Like I love how the black just makes it stand out like that.
Pops. This is so much fun. So I do a lot of logo covers. So I do companies' logos and stuff on covers. And I thought, I would love to wear this. I'd be so, because people would say, what's that? I'm glad you asked.
No, it's so cool. So guys, this is going to be our first giveaway tonight. So let me hang on, bear with me. Lee, you joined us just in time, man. Lee came just in time for the giveaway. Hang on, guys. I want to make sure I give you the right website. Y'all know I like to have fun with these giveaways.
Socketsocks.com.
I know, but wait, we gotta make sure everybody is
going to put it in the type.
Yes.
Okay.
Leslie, right? Leslie, I don't know if you've seen these before, but these are so cool. Like, show them the other one, the mermaid one. Show them the mermaid one.
Gotta show the mermaid. This is totally
that one's like one of my personal favorites. I love the mermaid.
So again, these are, they slip on. This was one of my first sockets. Aloha, of course, right?
Yeah.
Badass Kona coffee on it. But they just slip on and they hug the top and they hug the bottom. I get so many people coming up to me asking me, oh, is that painted on? I'm like, no.
So snugly. It's one of those things, like I said, guys, this is really well-made product.
Yeah.
So guys, getting back to the giveaway, I just posted her website, okay? If you scroll all the way down to the bottom of her first page, of the main page, you're going to see a little part where you can put in your email to be a part of the subscription. First person to enter their name into the subscription, and she's going to get a little message telling her who did it. Okay, gets one of these socket socks with my logo on it, which is kind of cool.
So someone just asked, are they for other sockets?
Yes, Carol.
So, yes. Hold on.
Can you use them with pin or sleeves?
Yes. So this will fit any socket. In fact, we have arm covers that we have. Hold on, let me go back to my camera here. So
I know, I'll try to scroll. Look at that.
So this is the above knee covers. They just slide right on.
Mm-hmm. And that's a slightly larger socket, and it fits really nicely with the sizing. Tell us a little bit about the sizing. Like, how do they know what size to order?
Okay. On the website, there's a page for how to measure, and I have one of my little ambassadors, Olivia. She did this video. It was part of her homework assignment. So she did a video of her measuring, teaching you how to measure your socket.
There you go.
So on the website, we have 2 sizes, and you'll see pictures like this. Don't worry about trying to read this. It's on the website. There's 2 sizes depending on your measurements. If your size isn't in those measurements, we can custom make them. I custom make all the covers. So if your size doesn't fit, send me a message, an email, and all you have to do is send me your measurements, and we'll guarantee to fit. I guarantee every cover that goes out, if you make a mistake and it doesn't fit, we will correct it. My goal is to empower us, empower amputees with the power of fashion and pride. So at the last, I want you to be happy. So that's sizing. Small, medium, but we make everything. I have a 14-month-old below knee. The mother is ordering covers. I can't wait.
And you know that kid's gonna love it, because kids, all my kids, I have 4 kids, guys. Those of you who are just getting to know, I have 4 kids, and talk about loving to play dress up. That is gonna be such a beautiful thing for that child. Oh my goodness. Prosthetic Center of Excellence is here tonight. Thank you for joining us this evening. Mariella says, my socket looks like that mermaid fabric. Yeah. Lisa has a good question. What about the valve? Those folks who have a suction. Yeah.
So I have the click valve and a vacuum valve. you
Uh-huh.
can still reach those through the Lycra.
Okay.
If you have, like the AK has the valves that come, that go connect to their knee because of their
Yep.
knee. It can actually, I've been told by AKs that this helps to hold their valves in place, keep them from getting caught in other stuff. But it's,
So you mentioned that, yeah.
yeah, it's very stretchy. Any socket this will cover.
So yes, Susan, that would mean that they would work with an elevated vacuum. It can go over. One person mentioned it can help prevent ripped pants, which it makes sense if it covers a boa, and that another person asked about the boa.
Yep.
Which it would make sense because if the Lycra is nice and thin, so
That's
they can.
what I have. Here's my. Yeah.
There you go, guys. Whoever asked the question about the boa, there it is, right there.
Yeah. I just picked up my leg recently. Do you want to announce the winner?
Oh, you've got one?
Yeah. So I just refreshed.
Susan, no, you are not obligated to buy more if you sign up for the subscription. It's just a subscription to her email subscription. I'm sorry, I should have clarified that, Susan.
Yeah,
it's an email subscription.
Yeah, our emails basically when we have sales, when we have new fabrics, or something big is going on having to do with the amputee world, I'll send this out. Right now, we send an email about every 2 weeks, so you're not going to get overwhelmed with emails. Okay, I'll have to say the emails because none of them have names on them. The view that I see.
Okay.
How do you?
Just read the first part, not the at.
Okay.
Read the first part.
All right. So it says Johnny Visenhouse.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I thought I knew who that was. Never mind. Johnny Visenhouse. So whoever typed in the email Johnny Visenhouse, please contact me. You can send me a private message through the Cosi Chalks message, Facebook Messenger, and we'll get your address and make sure we get the sizing correctly. And we'll send you out your socket socks. So thank you guys. And again, this might sound a little strange, why the email subscription? And, for those of us who are small business owners like Joan, like myself, this is how we are able to grow our business. And this is how we can stay in business so that we can help bring these products, help bring the show into the community. So always like to help out in that regard. So guys, those of you who signed up tonight, thank you so much for doing that and for supporting Joan and what she's doing. Let's see, Lisa says, can you show that again? So she wants to see, maybe she wants to see the boa dial. Maybe that's what she your socket with the boa. Yep, that's what she wants to see.
Yeah. Did they just want me to stretch? Okay, there we go.
Leg. There we go.
So and I have the valve on this side. So I just picked up my leg. This is a new system for me. I've been trying to get a leg since March. And so I finally got my leg. I'm so excited. It fits. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to have a print done on my socket because that's what people do, right? They don't, so I thought, okay, let me pick a print. And I picked my Mermaid print and I had it done. And I realized I'm so glad I have socket socks because it came out beautiful, but it lost its shine. So whenever you laminate a fabric onto your socket, it does change it. And was it 5%? We did some stats. 5% of all amputees, when they receive their decorated socket, are not happy. So it could be the little thing. It lost its shine, a color smeared. It's not what you expected. That's why we built socket socks, to take away that fear of, well, what if I don't like it? That's okay. You can cover it up.
Cover it up. Yeah. No, I love it. I love it. Lisa has a question. This isn't one of your socks. So no, Lisa, the particular one she showed you just showed you the boa, but you said that the sock can go over.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think she's there we go.
So this is
with the sock, Lisa.
Yeah. So this is the Mermaid socket socks cover. Mm-hmm. And yes, it can go right over the boa. Like my valve is here.
There it is. That's what she wanted to see, the one with the sock over the boa so she could see what it looked like. There you go. So Lisa, it's the one.
So Lycra is so fabulous. This stretches over everything and it does protect your pants. Like that's huge. I have a woman who just ordered 2 above knee covers. She said she goes through a pair of pants, I want to say once a week, but I think it's more often than that because of it's a test socket. And there's nuts and bolts on the outside of her particular test socket, and it just rips through her pants. So I said, okay, we're going to put a tape on it. You're going to put these covers to hold that tape in place. And voila.
Very nice. Very nice. And I was just thinking, I was like, it's probably the only time you can wear Lycra and not have to be on a diet beforehand.
We don't have to be on a diet?
You don't have to be on a diet to wear this Lycra. It's awesome. I love it.
Here's, I just have some of the fabrics here. So, being from Hawaii, I love color. And so some of these fabrics, most of them are on the website. If you don't see something you like you don't see one you like on the website, let me know. I'm a been a dressmaker for 20 years. I might have something. So this is my pink paisley. This is the above knee. That just slips right over. I can't show you that one.
I didn't see. Okay.
Yeah, you can see it later.
Okay.
This is the actual, it's a black mermaid.
I like that.
For some reason, I was thinking of Batman when I love this one.
Yeah.
Gold. So lots of options.
I like the gold one.
Then we get into the custom work. I had a woman, she says, can we have something with lace? And I said, yeah. So we did this below.
How pretty is that?
And just sewed this, it was like a wedding lace on the cover. I've even had people say, well, I love my socket. Why would I cover it? I love my socket too. But, sometimes I like to dress up and have it kind of match my outfit. Or say you have some graphic design on there and you're going to a wedding. Maybe you want to cover it up.
That's another good point, is if you have something on your socket that may not be,
not appropriate
for the occasion. Yeah. I've seen some interesting sockets, that's for sure.
And I think it's awful. I had Aloha on mine, and I love representing Hawaii, so I love wearing that. But hey, I want to be a pirate today, or I want to be a mermaid.
Yes, absolutely. Alex, Leslie, y'all definitely need to chat with Joan at some point, because this is a beautiful product. And honestly, Joan, I love what you said about it being like, when people look at your socket, they see how beautiful the design is on the socket sock, and it kind of opens a nice conversation.
It does.
And that's something that we hear about a lot on the show, is people saying, well, how do I talk to people? And some days I don't feel like, I just want people to stop asking me, but it gives them something to talk about. So I think that's kind of.
I got to share a quick story with you. There's a little girl, and hopefully she sees this video, because she's just touched my heart. She's in Australia. Her name is Maya. So her website is Movement for Maya. And Susan Lane in the States had turned on to this little girl.
Yes, I know.
She said, you gotta check out this Maya. So I looked at her website. I'm like, oh my God, I just adore this little girl. So I contacted the mom. And I said, listen, I want to send you down some covers. And her daughter was, I think she was 4 years old when she developed sepsis. So she's lost her arms and legs. And she was 6 years old when I saw her. She's in, double baloney amputee prosthetics. So I sent her down a box. And so the mom said Maya was so excited that morning. She opened up the box and she saw all these pretty fun covers, like, for kids, like rainbow. And for the first time since she lost her legs, she told her mom, I can't wait to put my legs on. And I said, okay, that's it. This product, we need to get this product out there. Yes, for adults, it's great to dress up and make it fancy and have fun with it. But oh my God, the kids, I could go on and on with stories about the kids. It's just, she's amazing. This little girl is adorable. She went to school and the kids are like, oh my God, you're so happy. They all lined up that day she went to school with her covers. They stood in the line, classic Australia. Everyone stands in the line, and to hug her, because they could see she was beaming. So
that's just
Sarah Stephen Walker. Yeah,
right there.
Yeah.
I want to look her up after.
My
Thinking,
sweet.
just future. I hope you're able to branch into things like compression garments.
Yeah.
Because guys, last week, guys, I shared my story about going through breast cancer and in my case, I had to wear a compression garment for quite a while because I had several lymph nodes removed and had to do the whole compression garment thing. And I remember just looking at my compression garment going, oh, this is so boring.
Exactly.
I loved a mermaid print compression garment. So, Joan, you got lots of stuff you need to do.
Everyone's help on getting this word out there. Socket socks. We're here. We're affordable. It's easy to put on. I have 10 by the side of my bed in the morning, and I kind of pick and choose what I want to wear. But with everyone's help, we can get the word out there. The more we grow, the more products we can introduce. We just introduced a new product. I can't. I'm going to turn my camera because I can't lift this thing. So we're now selling covers for above knee calves. So this is the cover that goes over that part of the above knee.
Yeah.
So we now have our covers. We can have them for the calf part of the above knee. It's not on the website yet, but if someone wants to order one today, send me a message. So we're doing new products. We're getting there.
That is very, very cool. No, I love that. And then Roy says, I'm sorry, not Roy, Rob. Rob says, I was also thinking if they were able to go over a full leg, the leg cover would make it look more natural and children wouldn't be so scared. Or, like I said, if you have 4 inquisitive children like mine, they might see a Superman logo or the mermaid. And that's something my kids would say. They'd be like, I love the mermaid print on there.
The full cover for the AK, I do those. It's not on the website, but I have done them. I had an above knee client who's a golfer, and he said he doesn't want to get sand in his knee because sand or dirt. So we made him a full cover from his ankle up to the top of his socket. So
that's pretty cool.
Yes, Rob, we can.
So guys, lots of exciting things are going to be happening with this young lady. There she is. Lots of exciting things happening with this young lady. So sign up for that email subscription. She's not going to spam you. We know her.
Not at all.
So that you can find out about some of these new things that she's coming out with, not to mention any specials or anything like that she has. Lisa said, I missed your show for the past couple of weeks. I'll have to go back and watch your story. Yes, Lisa, you need to go back and watch it. And I'm glad you're back. Right, Kay? It is a great addition. Susan says, I can appreciate the work that goes into making these covers as I am an artist. So any of you out there, like I said, I do a lot of sewing myself. This is above my pay grade. So the quality product that you're receiving, folks, is very reasonably priced. And just, we're helping out a small business owner in the amputee limb loss community.
Fellow amputee.
Yeah. So let's see. Jody says, everyone loves my prosthetic, but they're scared to say anything about it.
Yeah.
And then
fun to put something on it. Like I just shipped one today that says, you put the words, I'm stumped.
Oh, that's awesome. So I'm curious, what do your gentlemen customers typically go for?
Camo.
Yeah,
camo. And I don't have one near me, but they also go for the American flag. The majority of my customers are in the US and Canada. But yeah, the US flag, we have a special print. Camouflage, fire and flames.
Okay.
It's funny because I have my new web designer. We were talking and they said, well, I'm sure most of your clients are females. And then we got 4 orders in right after he said that, and we're all guys.
There you go. Guys listening, putting it out there. Ashley says, I let my students help me pick the fabric for my last socket. Half autism puzzle pieces and half Marvel superheroes. Ashley is a special education teacher, so she's nice. My favorite people here. Rob says, I'm going to subscribe so that I can keep my eye out. There you go. So are we doing one more giveaway?
I think we can. Absolutely.
All right, guys, grab your phones. This one's for my Instagram folks. And yes, I'm sorry. I know not everybody's on Instagram, but that's the one for tonight. So Instagram, go to socket-socks, and it's underscore, sorry.
Socket_socks.
Okay, that's how you'll find her. And her logo, in case you're wondering, her logo looks like a running blade in the form of an S. There we go. Aha, there we go. Okay, so once you're there, guys, first person to follow her gets the socket sock. If you're already following her, comment #SocketSocks on her latest post. Let's see who gets there first. Go.
That's my latest post.
That's the latest post.
My beautiful mug.
Love it. So either you got to follow her and then comment #SocketSocks on that post. Go. And our last winner was actually, it's Johnny Vaca. So he was the winner. So I have our winner for the first one. So Johnny,
I was gonna say, if we
you're joining tonight, aren't you? All right. So while we're waiting for our winner, tell us just a little more on the technical side of the details. How can people care for their covers to make sure they stay in good shape?
So these are machine washable, hang to dry. This one here, this is almost 2 years old. Kind of the back, the logo is coming off a little, but yeah, they're super easy. Throw it in the wash. I cycle a lot in the summer, so I get grease on mine, and literally I put this spray to get the grease off of it, throw it in the wash, hang to dry.
Nice. And we do have international viewers. Do you ship, besides the US, do you ship to, okay? That's right, Australia and
anywhere in the world.
Guys, my international viewers, especially those of you who might be watching the replay, because it's like, midnight wherever you are right now. So
I've had
ship internationally.
Lisa, Warrior Goddess, Getting Stronger.
That's got to be, is that Lisa Offsea? Is that Lisa? She was asking all the questions about the BOA socket. So I think that might be her. Yes.
Done.
At you. Hang on. Let me make sure we get the right person.
Okay. AK.
Let's see. Michael Hill says, I think I was one of the first to receive one of Joan's camo socket socks almost 2 years ago. I'll see if I can dig up a photo. Michael, if you don't mind posting that photo on Facebook and tagging both myself and Joan, I would really appreciate that. I want to see that one. No, Jody, doesn't get better than that.
Fantastic.
All right. So Lisa, I think you are our next winner, if that's in fact your Instagram. So Lisa, when the show wraps up, send me a Facebook message and let me know your address and information and your size. So make sure you go to thesocketsocks.com, watch the video of Olivia, right? Olivia?
Yeah.
Olivia shows the video on how to measure your socket properly so you know which size to order, and then let me know your size. All right, Johnny, same thing with you, bud.
Yeah, and don't worry, when you guys are measuring your socket, it doesn't have to be down to the exact millimeter. Lycra is so forgiving. I had a guy measuring his socket. He didn't have measuring tape, so I used a piece of paper, which is 8 by 11. So I said, use the paper. He's okay, well, there's my measurements, and it fit perfectly.
There we go. So Ashley, thank you for reminding me. So guys, Ashley sent me her random questions of the week, which I love it when she does this. And the current question was, she had been wearing her socket all day long, and when she took it off, she noticed that the bottom was bruised and wondering what happened here. And Ashley, by now, I would consider her definitely an experienced prosthetic user. She's extremely active individual, on her feet all day with her students, and then doing her fitness afterwards. So it's a couple of different things. Usually what I notice in my really active individuals is that they'll go the entire day and they don't take their socket off. And then they take their socket off and they go, what just happened here? And, like in Ashley's case, she didn't have any kind of a fall or a bonk or anything. Bruise is just there. So a couple of things to consider. Number one, are you on blood thinners? Okay, because that's obviously going to make you bruise a lot easier. Number two, if you did have a very long day, it could just be that you just kind of pushed through the day and didn't think about discomfort that was possibly developing in your socket. So what I would do is with, like, for example, in Ashley's case, obviously you need to stay off that limb, let that bruise heal, okay? And then the next time you put on that socket, take it off every half hour, every hour, and just check the skin. If you start to see that same bottom bruising happening, it probably means that you need to add a sock because you're bottoming out in the socket without even realizing it. And again, this happens a lot to my more experienced users because they're just so used to going through their day that either they're completely ignoring any discomfort, or maybe they're not even necessarily feeling discomfort and they didn't realize that they bottomed out in their socket and they should have added some socks. Okay, so just I'm glad Ashley reminded me of that because that is something that does happen a lot. So
we call it hickeys.
Hickeys, there we go. Hickey from pistoning. Yes, thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, and it could be sometimes with the hickey, it looks red. It looks like a hickey.
Yeah.
So if it's bruising, sometimes I think bottoming out. If it's due to pistoning, okay, and again, the pistoning could also be, the pistoning sometimes is due if you're wearing too many socks and you're not all the way in the socket, so you have an air pocket that's pistoning, or not enough socks where it's too loose and you're pistoning up and down, or sometimes with the pin lock systems, you'll get that pistoning effect. So again, guys, play around with it and see, and for certain, call your prosthetist. If you're in any doubt as to what is causing this, call your prosthetist because they can help you troubleshoot. And most of the time over the phone, this is something they can help you troubleshoot. And just go back to trying out the different socks and seeing what you need to add or perhaps subtract. All right, Johnny says, congratulations and best wishes, Joan. Thank you for sharing your story and bringing this very cool product to the limb loss community. Love showing my nuts and bolts, but not all do. And I know this will help them get there. Let's see. Ashley says, in my case, I have a BOA system and just click it. There you go. So Ashley, I think in your particular case, you might want to play around with putting on a sock or two the next time to see if that helps out. All right, guys. So we're going to go ahead and wrap it up for this evening. Joan, thank you so much for being on the show. Thank you for the giveaways.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I mean, this is such a great product. Everyone who buys one tells me the same thing. They love it and they're glad they bought it. So I just need to get the word out there. We're here. We're open for business.
Yes. So guys, next week is Veterans Day here in the United States. And my own father was an Army veteran, so I have a really soft spot. Hooah! There we go. I have a soft spot for the folks in the armed forces here. So we have a really nice guest coming on board to tell his story in the military. And oh boy, is it a story. So guys, hopefully I would love to see you guys here next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. And I will sign off for now. Bye guys.